Close your eyes and imagine a small person without any hands to drive a horse carriage during the 4th of July parade. Sounds like a very difficult task, might you think? Well, believe it or not, the Air Force is trying to accomplish that difficult task. Hi, my name is Frank Martinez from Joint Base Charleston, South Carolina. And today I'm going to inform you about 3 concepts discussed by the previous Chief of Staff of the Air Force and by the Secretary of the Air Force that will allow you to understand how the Air Force is trying to accomplish this difficult task. Today I will cover the concept of readiness, modernization, and force structure, and what that means for the today's Air Force. Let's begin our first topic of discussion, which is readiness. Readiness is the state of being fully prepared for something. In order to maintain readiness, the Air Force must prioritize their contribution by applying resources at appropriate level in order to save critical activities and infrastructure. According to the past Chief of Staff of the Air Force and now retired General Norty Schwartz, he mentioned, and I quote, "If readiness is deficient, it will be like having airplanes without engines or guns without bullets." If you think back at the beginning, I mentioned the small person trying to drive a horse carriage. His readiness to participate on the 4th of July parade is very low since he is not able to drive. The small person must request some assistance or resources in order to save his participation. Another way the Air Force has chosen to maintain readiness is to trade some part of his size and capacity for quality and effectiveness. So that we know about readiness and what that means for today's Air Force. Let's move on the second concept, which is modernization. Modernization means to accept or adopt modern ways, ideas, or style. This is a critical concept for the Air Force. The Air Force prefer to protect and or increase their investment in new and more up-to-date equipment other than that manage other aircraft. According to the Secretary of the Air Force, Michael Donnelly, the average age of our fleet is reaching almost 35 years old. Some aircraft, like fighter jet, are around 23. Rescue helicopters around 22. Training aircraft 25. Bombers 37. And tankers is reaching almost 50 years old. Looking back in our parade, the small man had a horse carriage. This is a very old way to move from point A to point B. It will be easier or more efficient is to have a remote control car or something similar to participate in our parade. Also, the Air Force is trying to remember the personal side of modernization with a continued emphasis of recruitment, training, and development of activities to ensure all airmen are up to date in their skills and abilities. Now we know the second concept of modernization. Let's discuss the last concept, force structure. When we talk about proper force structure, we are talking about ensuring the force is appropriately sized, composed, and balanced across the Air Force. The goal is to have all those components in order to accomplish the mission. In other words, having a balance between active duty and reserve components to meet the demand and sustain it while maintaining effectiveness over long-term operations. In the case of a parade, the small man had to establish a plan to have a team of people to assist him from the beginning of the parade until the end. Otherwise, his participation will be very difficult. Now we know the concept of readiness, modernization, and force structure. All these concepts are closely related and can be affecting each other. Therefore, readiness is the ability to participate. Modernization is to ensure that participation is in an effective way. And the force structure is having the correct amount of people helping you through the parade. Without these three concepts, the small man cannot be in the parade, and the Air Force will not be ready to fly, fight, and win in the air, space, and cyberspace whenever the nation calls. Thank you.